family. My name is Vicki Dillard for African Diaspora News Channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to give the video a big thumbs up, and share the broadcast, beloved. Tell everybody you know that your sister with the curly braids is on now. Thank you so very much, family. Certainly, you all know by now, about a month or so ago, I presented a broadcast to the network concerning former French general. I believe it's Francois Lecointre. I may mispronounce that name with my Mississippi accent. Publicly, beloved, stated how he wanted to basically reinvade, not basically, to invade and recolonize Africa. Now, that's important context to keep in mind as I get ready to discuss the latest information that has been going on in Burkina Faso by the great president Traore. Now, just as a brief reminder, and of course, you can check out that video broadcast here that I did on the former French general making that statement. But just a little bit, a little background on that again. Francois Gerard Marie Lecointre, basically, this one piece from African Stream said that in the face of an anti-imperialist revolution unfolding across France's former colonies of the Sahel area region, this general, and of course, this is from Le Figaro, which is a French publication. He stated in that clip during this interview the need for greater European unity to re-engage in military action against Africa. He made it clear, as this piece says, that European action in Africa would be a matter of protecting European interests. Now, let me tell you all something. I have talked to you before and reminded you of even certain spiritual texts that let us know that when the adversary is warring, that we're supposed to, what does the scripture say? Resist the devil, right? So that same principle is at work here. It says, resist the devil and he'll flee. The point of saying resist the devil is that the devil is the enemy. In this instance, I'm using the scripture as an example, but the adversary, right? The opponent in this particular instance is very, very insistent and persistent. When you are in power, as long as they were, when you have exploited and stolen and utilized so many resources that didn't belong to you, which is such an inextricable benefit to your own country, they're not just going to up and leave and just high five you because you said you want to utilize your own resources and your own land. No, they're going to fight you at every turn. So this is very important to keep in mind, which is why President Traore recently stated that Burkina Faso, its soldiers, its countrymen should be prepared for a long war with the powers that seek to recolonize his country. Yes? Well, listen to this particular piece. Watch this headline. It says, Burkina Faso accuses France of destabilization in complicity with Benin and Ivory Coast. Now, listen to this, family. Burkina Faso's military leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore, on Thursday said he has evidence of destabilization orchestrated against his country by France and supported by Benin and Ivory Coast. Quote, we have nothing against the Ivorian people, but we have something against those who run Ivory Coast. We say it and we say it again. There is indeed a center of operations in Abidjan to destabilize our country, Traore said in an interview in the nation's capital. Watch this, family. He goes on. It says here, nobody will come and tell us that in Benin there are no French bases directed against us. We have the evidence at hand. Watch this. He said evidence will be revealed that Benin is home to 2 French bases directed against Burkina Faso. Quote, we have proof. Tracks have been laid, soldiers are equipped, he stressed. It goes on to say that President Traore said that he has, quote, audio recordings of French agents in Benin who play at the terrorist centers of operations and set up operations with them and help them to look after themselves. Of course, the French military is said to have formally denied it, the existence of these bases. They said that, quote, the only permanent military personnel are the defense attaché and the cooperants seconded to the Europe and Foreign Affairs Ministry. The statement said France has 5 bases in Africa: Chad, Senegal, Ivory Coast, Gabon, and Djibouti. Occasionally, it says temporary and short-term operational training detachments are deployed to support the Beninese armed forces at their request. It added just the fact that they added that last little bit about saying that how the fact that they even stated that they have temporary and short-term operational training detachments let us know right there that that in and of itself is suspicious. But how many of you all know that France has been proven to be a liar over and over again? How many of you all know that President Ibrahim Traore and the leadership there and the people of Burkina Faso have shown over and over and over again the undermining of France in more ways than one? How many of you all know that the former envoy, the former ambassador, remember they absolutely refused to leave some of the countries in the Sahel area? How many of you all remember the coverage that I did showing that they actually had to cut off the electricity and cut off the utilities to try to force them out? I started this broadcast reminding you of a recent statement that one of the former generals made publicly to recolonize and reinvade Africa, specifically these areas. So I believe President Ibrahim Traore, and certainly I look forward to presenting any evidence that he is going to bring in the near future, exposing them. We know this is not the first time that African leadership has gone before world bodies. For example, how many of you all remember when I played for you a clip of one of the I believe it was one of the Malayan leadership members, or one of the members in Sahel. I can't exactly remember which one it is now because I did so much coverage. And this was last year when they did the last General Assembly at the UN, where he went before the world body, and it was actually more than one. Actually, that's why I'm confusing it, because it was more than one Sahel country that went before the UN to expressly state how France and Western agents were specifically sponsoring terrorist organizations, and how they brought it to the UN prior to the UN General Assembly. And one of those members being a member of the Security Council, and how nothing was done about it. Talk black to me, somebody. How many of you all know that I've also done previous broadcasts from other credible African voices, including journalists, investigative journalists, experts, and people on the ground that have directly linked Western agents to the sponsorship of terrorist organizations and the actual creation of some of them. So I'm not surprised by this at all. So fam, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it below. My name is Vicki Dillard, beloved. Be sure to check out my website, beloved, at VickiPlanet.com. That's VICKIPlanet.com. I am so excited because I have an upcoming free webinar about the Lionsgate portal, where I'm going to be teaching so many of you that have already registered about how you can turn your house into a supernatural portal. Go to VickiPlanet.com. That's VICKIPlanet.com. You don't want to miss it. This is the sacred secret of divine protection for you and your household, and how to actually wield power on earth as it is in the heavens. I can't wait to see you again.